I hope you're having a good evening, a good night. Maybe you're in the East Coast. Maybe you're around the world in Europe or somewhere listening in. But I wanted to talk to you about something that I just read. I had heard about it before. It's inner scorecard, outer scorecard, people pleasing, and so forth. And I wrote a blog about this, and it's in the book that I'm reading right now, Snowball, the Warren Buffett book. And I thought, let's dive into this a little bit more just quickly because I learned some things that I want to share with you. And I shared it with my kids. I think it's pretty powerful. Let me read to you first what I read because it's important. Come with me here. This is Warren Buffett in his book. And it says, I feel like I'm on my back. And there's the Sistine Chapel and I'm painting away. I like it when people say, gee, that's pretty good looking. That's a pretty good looking painting, but it's my painting. And when somebody says, why don't you use more red instead of blue? Goodbye. It's my painting and I don't care what they sell it for. The painting itself will never be finished. That's one of the great things about it. He continues, he says, the big question about how people behave is whether they've got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. I always pose it this way, he says. Look it. Would you rather be the world's greatest lover, but have everyone think you're the world's worst lover? I mean, that's a tough question. I don't know about that one. I had to think about it. I'm like, which one? Do I want to be perceived a certain way or do I actually want to be it? Anyway. Or would you rather be the world's worst lover but have everyone think you're the world's greatest lover? Now, that's an interesting question. It totally is. Here's another one. If the world couldn't see your results, would you rather be thought of as the world's greatest investor, but in reality have the world's worst record? Or be thought of as the world's worst investor when you're actually the best? I mean, I'm thinking, hold on, if I'm perceived as the best one, then I could probably get more opportunities, but I'm probably thinking too much into it. Anyways, he says, in teaching your kids, I think the lesson they're learning at a very, very early age is what their parents put the emphasis on. If all the emphasis is on what the world's going to think about you, forgetting about how you really behave, you'll wind up with an outer scorecard, right? That I think is the challenge. This is now my dad. He was 100% inner scorecard guy. He was a real maverick, and he goes on to talk about that. But I want to talk about that feeling that we have when we're looking to please people. People ask us, hey, can you meet here? Can you go there? Can you do this? Can you do that? Hey, are you sure you're doing that the right way? And I think that stems a lot from when we're younger. And I want to share one other piece here with you, which I wanted to dive in deeper. It says, what's a people pleaser? And there's a term, I don't even know if it's here, but it's sociotropy. And that's kind of like what it is. It's a people pleaser. So I'm looking for the science because I'm actually doing this for myself. And I'm like, am I a people pleaser? Am I? And I want you to ask the same question of yourself. Like, where are you with this? Let's zoom in here. You have a difficult time saying no. You're preoccupied with what other people might think. You feel guilty when you do tell people no, and sometimes I do, right? You fear that turning people down will make them think you are mean or selfish. You agree to things you don't like, and this keeps going here, right? The struggle is real here, and I'm bringing this up because this is something that isn't new. It's been around for a long time, and I want you to start thinking, are you people pleasing? And there's nothing wrong with having some of this. I think there's a balance here. Know that you've got to have time for yourself. You've got to make time for you. And if it means saying no to somebody else, if it means you going further and saying, hey, I believe in this that I'm creating. I'll tell you a story. When I created Lab Coat Agents, which is now like the largest community for real estate agents in the world, we have one of the largest Facebook groups with 150,000 people in it. When I created it, people were like, what are you doing with Facebook? What is that? What are you wasting your time there for? And I'm like, no, I'm just doing this to help out people. And I keep on getting that over. And are you sure you want to share all that with people? I mean, you're telling people how to succeed in real estate. Well, why don't you just keep it for yourself and do it? I'm like, no, No. I kept on saying no. And sometimes you're going to think like, are they right? Am I wasting my time with this? It's normal to think that. I mean, this goes back. This is just built into human nature. And there was one article I found by Adam. It's a little excerpt. Adam Smith, if you know who he is, 1770s, right? He wrote Wealth of Nations. But he also had this book called The Theory of Moral Sentiments. 225 years ago, there's a little excerpt, and I want to read it to you because I found it super interesting. He says, humans naturally desires not only to be loved, but to be lovely, or to be that thing which is the natural and proper object of love. In essence, we want to feel significant. We want to make sure that other people like us, right? He naturally dreads not only to be hated, but to be hateful, or to be that thing which is natural and proper object of hatred. He desires not only praise, but praiseworthiness, or to be that thing which, though it should be praised by nobody, is, however, the natural and proper object of praise. And then he ends this up and he says, he dreads not only blame, but blameworthiness, or to be that thing which, though it should be blamed by nobody, is, however, the natural and proper object of blame. So, look, not only do we want to be accepted, not only do we want to feel significant, not only do we want to people please, it's natural, but we also don't want to be that thing that people don't like. We also don't want to be that thing that people hate and be like, you know that person? Don't be like that person. You know that guy, he never comes to a party. He never does this. He never does that. And sometimes you've got to draw the line and know that people are going to talk bad about you no matter what. So stick to what you believe in. Stick to what you want to do. And know that it's a balance. There are priorities that you have that you're going to have to say no to other things to. And you're going to feel bad about it. I mean, I say no to a lot, and I still feel bad daily. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. Just know that you have to set boundaries as you grow. And as the world changes around us and it gets tougher to do business because we have to contact more people and talk to more people, identify what those priorities are in your life, right? Which is self, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your business. And try to say no to more things that even though it might make you feel a little bit guilty, you know you're doing the right thing to help you grow one step at a time. Anyway, just wanted to share that message. I shared it with my kids. Thought it was pretty awesome. Have a good night. Have a good morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this.